Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes. I'm your host, Sonic 007, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I know it's been a while, but I'll go more into depth as to what happened. Long story short, I needed a splitter to record this game. Anyway, let's jump right into this darn thing with Emerald Hill, which is basically an updated version of Green Hill, if you could think of it like that. If you want to think of it that way. Now Sonic plays exactly the same way as he did in Sonic 1. He can jump, he can roll down slopes. However, he also has access to this new spindash. Now, canonically, the spindash was actually in Sonic 1. It was basically what would happen when you roll down a slope. In this game, it's called the Supersonic Dash, but that's for another. Anyways, basically, the spin dash you hold down and then you rapidly mash the jump button, and you're gonna rev up a lot of speed, and it'll allow you to take off immediately. This was a great move added to the series because it was a great way to instantly gain speed. Gonna get this checkpoint because checkpoints actually have purpose besides allowing you to respawn from your last, in case you die. We actually got special stages. If you come to a checkpoint with 50 rings, jump into the swirling stars, and you'll be able to enter this game's special stage. And unlike the psychedelic acid trip that was in the first game, we've got half pipes. Basically, the objective is to collect as many rings as you can, and if you manage to meet the quota, you will be able to get the Chaos Emerald, no problem. There's going to be 3 acts essentially with the special stages. Collect as many rings as you can. Watch out for the bombs. And you might have noticed I have a little buddy behind me. This is I mentioned that in the Game Gear and Master System version of Sonic 2, Miles Tails Prower made his debut. However, most people didn't play that game because, well, most people never owned a Master System. So this was their first slice of Miles Tails Prower. Miles Tails Prower is a good buddy of Sonic. He can move like Sonic, he can spin dash like Sonic, he can even fly. Unlike Sonic. And unlike Sonic, he's completely invincible. Clearly that time being kidnapped by Robotnik improved his endurance tenfold. That's a 1-up, gives you an extra life the instant you break it. And I gotta say, getting extra lives in this game just feels a lot easier. And to jump the gun on that too, I feel like Sonic 2 itself is easier than Sonic 1. But yeah, speaking of lives, if you manage to get 10,000 points at the end of a zone, you'll get what is called a continue. In the event that you bite it and lose all your lives in a zone, you'll be able to use a continue and respawn with 3 extra lives. And that's going to be very necessary, especially if it's your first time playing, because this game's difficulty does rev up quite a bit. Rev up. I say that we just got the speed shoes, allows Sonic to go super fast, which is another thing that this game did for the better. You might have noticed that Sonic 1 was a little was faster than your standard Mario game. However, it was still not super fast. This game, however, essentially, they got rid of what it was called the speed cap, and now Sonic can go to ludicrous speeds, as we'll see in the next zone. Anyway, we got our first boss. Robotnik's riding this giant car with a drill. It's pretty standard. Jump on him, avoid the front side, or just avoid touching him in general. You could be pretty darn reckless with this guy, but not like absurdly reckless. It would be very embarrassing for you to die to a boss like that. if you manage to get the 7th hit on him, but not the 8th, he'll actually shoot out his drill as he comes back, as he re-enters the screen. So just watch out for that. Otherwise, easy boss. Alright, welcome to Chemical Plant Zone. This level defines this game. I mentioned before that we got rid of that Sonic 2 got rid of the speed cap. And you're actually going to really see it with this level. As you can see, it's a little fast there. Watch out for these spinies. They shoot projectiles out from their mouths into an arc. Okay, this part is what I'm referring to. Look at this. You can never reach these kinds of speeds in Sonic 1, and for what it's worth, they made him even faster in the next game. Well, Sonic 3, and more on that later. Also, not only you get to the end of the zone, if you get 10,000 points, you get to continue. However, your total score is at the top left of your screen. If you, for every 50,000 points you rank up, like there, I'm glad I managed to do that so I can exemplify that, you get an extra life. Booyah. And, I probably shouldn't be ignoring this, even though this is only the first part. This soundtrack is incredible. And Chemical Plant is probably the biggest contender for that. After a while, though, I've kind of gotten tired of Chemical Plant Zone, but that's only because within the recent years, we've seen Chemical Plant and Green Hill more times than we really needed to. But the original Chemical Plant, it was pretty fantastic for its time. It's also home to every child's first wall in this game. You might have noticed that purple stuff in there. That's actually called, well, actually no. The blue stuff we've been avoiding is called Mega Mac. I don't know what the purple stuff is called. I'd probably rather not know. But before I continue with that, we got Special Stage 2. Now, just like Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the special stages will get harder as you go along, but not in the sense where it gets a little tougher, because it goes from 0 to 100 after a while. Like, Special Stage 1, 2, and 3 aren't too bad. It really revs up with Special Stage 4. And the bombs are just thrown everywhere. And Tails is getting hit like a flipping pansy. Thank you, Tails. You're so helpful. Oh yeah, I should probably explain that too. If you have a buddy with you, have an extra controller, that other person can control Tails, and you can actually make the special stages a lot easier for yourself. Because, not for nothing, the AI for Tails it's not very good. Tails will constantly crash into bombs, and you'll lose rings as a result, because the total comes from the rings that Sonic collects and Tails. So, it's best that you have a buddy to help you out, otherwise you could be losing out on the Chaos Emerald strictly because Tails lost some rings for you. And there we go, we got the second Chaos Emerald. Again, a little tougher than the first stage, but not terribly tough. Watch out for these guys, they're called grabbers. If they grab you, as Tails has demonstrated there, you'll get stuck. In the event that you, Sonic, gets stuck, Tails is able to rescue you. If not, if Tails can't rescue you in time, you'll just the grabber will just end up exploding and you'll take damage. This is the wall that I was referring to. Growing up, and including myself actually, I would get to this point in Chemical Plant, and not only will it be super slow, and it's even slower in this port. I'm recording this off the Ultimate Genesis collection on the PS3. It was the only way I could record it. I mean, I could have used an emulator like I did with the Master System Sonic 2, but I didn't want to cheat. I didn't want to be cheap about it again. But yeah, you could that part was a real pain for a lot of kids growing up because you could actually drown like you could back in Labyrinth Zone, and there's no like bubbles to breathe in. And if you end up falling down, that's it. This boss actually is this boss actually isn't too bad, but please, for the love of God, don't let Tails hit Robotnik first. Because for whatever reason, if Tails manages to hit Robotnik first and you don't, you can clip right through Robotnik and fall off the and like fall into the bottomless pit. So that's fun. Alright, so this Let's Play is going to be set up where I'm doing essentially 2 zones each part. Uh, I guess a breather for those that thought Paper Mario was a little too much. Granted, we just got done off doing Sonic 2 Master System, so anyways. Next time on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we're going to be tackling the 3rd and 4th stages, Aquatic Ruin, my personal favorite level, and Casino Night. So until then, I got a juice.